Welcome, Sens Talk.
Russell winds in, feeds it back across the track and scores! Brady Tkachuk makes it 2-0. Giroux, hit alone, scores!
Tim Stutzel across, Tkachuk score! The captain, Brady Tkachuk, buries it with 1:18 to go.
See you later. Go, Sens, go.
Welcome to Sens Talk. My name is Brandon Plant, and I'm your host tonight. Ottawa took on the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Battle of Ontario. It's always a big game when these two teams face off with one another, but the game tonight feels like it means more than usual. Both teams going into tonight's game with a little bit of a rough stretch. Ottawa in their last 6 has lost 5 of those 6, looking to snap a 3-game losing streak, while Toronto similarly has not been doing so well as of late. Now, starting in net for Ottawa is Joonas Korpisalo, who's been one of the lone bright spots as of late for the Senators. He's been fantastic in the last few starts he's had. And for Toronto, it's Joseph Woll, not Samsonov. It's Joseph Woll, who's had a .930 save percentage this year. He's easily been the better goaltender for Toronto as of late, as Samsonov, the quote-unquote starting goaltender for the Toronto Maple Leafs, has struggled. He has like an .870 save percentage, so it shouldn't be much of a shock that Woll starts the net for Toronto tonight. Let's just say, though, Woll was not a Wall. We'll just leave it at that. Now, Artem Zub did not return for this game. Hopefully, he'll be back for tomorrow's game against Vancouver. He still remains out with that upper body injury, likely a concussion. Now, the Leafs are 9-1-1 in their last 11 games against Ottawa, but the last game these two teams faced off against one another, Ottawa came out on top 6-2, looking to win back-to-back against Toronto. They beat them last in January. Now, Ottawa going to this game as well is looking to avoid giving up 37-plus shots for the first time since their loss against the Buffalo Sabres. So let's head to the first period of play, and 6 minutes in, it's the Maple Leafs drawing blood first. William Nylander scores his 13th in 13 games off the faceoff, 1-0 off the power play goal. Travis Hamonic with the penalty that results in that power play. He's tied for second in the National Hockey League in minor penalties this year with 8. You got to clean it up. You're a veteran, Travis Hamonic. You got to play much more disciplined. But 2 minutes later, the Ottawa Senators respond in a big way as Tyler Kleven along the left boards feeds Dominik Kubalik at the point. He blasts one past Woll, and this one is tied. It's 1-1 as Joseph Woll misplays it, and the Sens tie it. It's 1-1 as Roby Järventie, by the way, gets his first career NHL point. Congratulations to Roby Järventie. He wins the faceoff, sets up the play behind the net, resulting in his first NHL point in a tie game. Great play there by Roby Järventie to even us up here at 1 apiece. We move on as Ottawa and Toronto trade chances in the first period of play. The shots were even at 10 apiece midway through the game. Toronto and Ottawa were very much so playing rather evenly. Both goaltenders making some big stops. And then with 30 seconds left, the biggest stop of the night, the thumbnail of this video, a dominant save, an exclamation mark on this one. Joonas Korpisalo makes a huge highlight reel glove save off Austin Matthews in tight, who stole the puck from Adam Paulo and did a toe drag before the robbery. Joonas Korpisalo to save the Ottawa Senators from being on the highlight reel for years to come, because you know that goal would have been on the highlight reel for years and years and years to come, because my goodness, Austin Matthews, what hands on that goal, but a better glove hand from Joonas Korpisalo to keep us tied at 1, go to the second period of play, and 1 minute in to the second period of play, Ottawa takes the lead. Matthew Joseph with a wraparound chance, the puck comes loose to G-Money, Claude Giroux deposits it home, 2-1 Senators as he roofs it past Joseph Woll to make it a 2-1 Senator lead, as Claude Giroux now is on a 5-game point streak. He has 7 points in that span, 3 goals at this point in time. Ottawa, just a minute in, 2-1 lead. Now, that is how you start a period, ladies and gentlemen. But unfortunately, a few minutes later, the Toronto Maple Leafs would respond as Tyler Patuzzi out front picks up the loose puck off a block shot off the faceoff. A lot of faceoff goals tonight, and the Leafs tie it and they respond. It's a 2-2 game. We move on now, and like I said, this was a pretty even game. No team until the third period of play outright dominated. It was a pretty even game. Toronto and Ottawa continue to trade chances. Luckily, though, for Ottawa, they would have a chance bounce their way as 14 minutes and 6 minutes left in the second period of play. Tim Stützle from behind the goal line feeds Jakob Chychrun, who slams home the one-time goal to give Ottawa the lead right back. It's 3-2 Senators as Jakob Chychrun has his 5th goal of the year already. That's unbelievable in 11 games. 5 goals on pace for 37 goals. Jacob Chychrun, take a bow, my friend, leading the charge. And as well, by the way, a nice play here again from Matthew Joseph to beat the icing to keep this play alive as well. Joseph, we'll talk about it in the game notes. Impressive game by him as Jacob Chychrun makes it 3-2 Ottawa. Going to the third period of play. Now, Ottawa, when they go to the third period of play with the lead, are 4-0-0 when doing so this year, looking to make that 5-0-0. But unfortunately, 8 minutes in, rough start to that, as the Toronto Maple Leafs strike and tie it at 3. Robertson bats home a saucer pass. Sanderson in the neutral zone cannot corral the puck. Cleven's caught alone, 3-3. Not much Korpisalo or Tyler Cleven can do there. It's a missed play by Sanderson. A bit of a bad pinch, but I mean, once again, sometimes you have to take that gamble. It doesn't go your way sometimes. This time it did not. The Leafs capitalized 3-3, but luckily for Ottawa, a few minutes later, this is where they're like, look, we called out the fan base. We kind of put it in our own hands. Claude Giroux, Tim Stützle, Brady Tkachuk, everyone in that locker room believes in this team. They made it a statement before this game that they were going to come out and play hard, and they did so here. This is where they took complete control of this game. With about 9 to 8 minutes left in the third period of play, the Sens start sensing the Toronto Maple Leafs. With 8 minutes left, Dominic Kubalik has a shot along the goal line. It goes up Giordano, skated in. Ottawa takes the lead right back, 4-3 Ottawa. Dominic Kubalik's second goal of the game. Wow, I mean, at first I thought Wall just allowed a tough one, but Giordano, that's just a tough bounce there for Toronto as Ottawa finally gets a bounce going their way. As, you know, the Ottawa Senators always say in that locker room that the bounces don't go their way. Well, the bounces just went their way. 4-3 now for Ottawa as Dominic Kubalik gets his second of the game. A minute later, oh my goodness, tic-tac-toe, sexy pass for a sexy goal. Tim Stützle finishes off the play. 5-3 Ottawa, 2 goals in a span of 1.5 minutes. And then just a minute later, Tim Stützle with a 4-point night. He steals the puck from Joseph Woll from behind the net, feeds Claude Giroux, G-Money, ka-ching, 6-3 Ottawa, as Ottawa takes complete control of this game. Joseph Woll, my friend, that's why you stay in your net. If you're a goaltender watching this video, stay in your net. Tim Stützle, great awareness. A breakout, huge game here for Stützle, who's quietly been fantastic, but I mean, let's be honest, the goal scoring hasn't really been there. This has been a statement game for Tim Stützle. 4 points, Claude Giroux, another goal, 6-3 Ottawa, as that's 3 goals in a 3-minute span for the Ottawa Senators. As, guess what? They would get a power play late. It would be all Ottawa to finish this one off. The fans in Toronto boo the Leafs as they exit the ice, as the Ottawa Senators win 6-3 over the Toronto Maple Leafs, snapping a 3-game losing streak. Beat the traffic, Toronto. Beat the traffic, Leaf fans. Go home. Go to sleep. Take care. Ottawa just sensed you. You're going to need some sleep after you just got sensed like that by the Ottawa Senators. What a win, especially against a divisional rival and a provincial rival in the Toronto Maple Leafs. Always fun to beat the Leafs, especially when the stakes are just that higher. A massive win to snap the 3-game losing streak. 6-3 Ottawa, let's go. We are so back, ladies and gentlemen. Here are some post-game thoughts. Firstly, as we kind of just mentioned, Tim Stützle, what a game for him. It's not exactly a breakout game for Tim Stützle because he's been fantastic this year if you look at his point totals, but he's been a little invisible goal-scoring wise and just hasn't looked like himself. This game will shut up the naysayers for sure. Massive 4-point effort for Tim Stützle tonight, leading the way for the Ottawa Senators. Also another guy leading the way for the Ottawa Senators, Claude Giroux, points in 5 straight games, 2 goals tonight. That's like 8 or 9 points in those 5 straight games. Claude Giroux, he's one of those guys that just backed DJ Smith the other day and called out the fan base. And look, when Claude Giroux says something, I listen. If he believes that DJ Smith is the right coach, I'm willing to listen because Claude Giroux is a guy that knows the game like, frankly, not many other people do. And I have so much respect for Claude Giroux. He really spoke today, or the other day, pardon me, called out the fan base, said everyone has to relax. We believe in each other is what he said. And guess what? He backed up those words big time. Him and Stützle as well. And Matthew Joseph, a 3-assist effort today. He's been quietly so good for Ottawa after a hot start early in the year. And it's been fantastic to see him get a good opportunity there in that top 6. He's been fantastic this year. And tonight really led the way as well. 3 assists. Looked very good at all ends of the ice. And, you know, we all said this. No one really wanted to trade Matthew Joseph. It only needed to be done because we wanted to bring back Shane Pinto. Now, of course, that Shane Pinto situation's kind of alleviated any concern around trading Joseph, and thank God for that, because Joseph is such a valuable piece of this Ottawa Senator team, and he's having such a great bounce back year. Now, Jacob Chychrun, like I said already, on pace for 37 goals this year, 5 already in 11 games. Jacob Chychrun is leading the charge on the blue line offensively. He's been everything you could have asked for and more. He's been easily Ottawa's best offensive defenseman. I guess Jake Sanderson's absolutely in that conversation, but Jake Sanderson's been the best defensive defenseman or two-way guy. I think if you're looking at the best point producer or goal scorer on the blue line, you got to look at Jacob Chychrun. He's the guy that's leading there after all anyways. Just another fantastic effort. And once again, we mentioned this in the season preview with Derek Lee and Noah Luden on here on YouTube just before the year begun. I mentioned this. Ottawa's blue line last year did not score at all. It was a weak spot for this team. This year, early on, it's been the complete opposite. Chychrun and Sanderson have been dominant on the blue line, and is helping the Ottawa Senators score in games in which guys like Tkachuk and Batherson and Norris do not score. So a massive game there for Chychrun as well, who looked good defensively as well, but most importantly, getting on the board offensively. Jacob Bernard-Docker as well looked very, very good today. Very impressed the last few games from him. And Manon Paulo didn't really play that much today. Basically got benched in the second period of play after that massive turnover to Austin Matthews late in the first period of play. It would be a big boost for the Ottawa Senators to get Artem Zub back tomorrow, because I think Manon Paulo probably needs a little bit of a break here. I've liked his game so far, but it's been a bit of a rough stretch the last game or two for him, and I think the benching shows that. Now, the last thing I'll mention before we wrap up this video is Joonas Korpisalo. Another fantastic game, another win. 28 stops as the Ottawa Senators don't allow 37 plus shots for the first time since Buffalo a couple weeks ago. So a good bounce back effort defensively for Ottawa. 31 shots is about league average. 28 saves is pretty good, giving Ottawa a good chance to win it, as they do. They take down the Leafs 6-3. Korpisalo will not start tomorrow. It will be Anton Forsberg, though, as the Ottawa Senators play again tomorrow. As I just mentioned, they take on the Vancouver Canucks, who have been fantastic this year. The best start in franchise history for them. So a tough team tomorrow, but let's see if Ottawa can make it back-to-back wins to get back to 500. Besides that, thank you all for watching. I appreciate your support. And besides that, beat the traffic, Leaf fans. Take care. Au revoir. And I'll see you all soon, Sens fans. I'll see you tomorrow. Go Sens, go.